Huge news breaking moments ago. If you're a fan of excellence on the court and democracy in general, NBA superstar LeBron James has announced his endorsement for Vice President Kamala Harris, citing the racist comments about Puerto Rico made at Donald Trump's Madison Square Garden rally. LeBron James writing to his 53 million followers on Twitter and 159 million followers on Instagram. This, quote, "What are we even talking about here? When I think about my kids and my family and how they will grow up, the choice is clear to me. Vote Kamala Harris." Joining us, Democratic.
What are we even talking about here? Honestly, what are we even talking about here when we breaking this down? All right, number one, whenever I have these conversations, I'm objective enough to be able to separate the person from the politics as far as like what they do for a living versus what they're promoting to us online. All right. That means that I can give LeBron James his flowers and say that he's one of the greatest basketball players to ever live. Is he better than Jordan? No. But he's one of the greatest basketball players to ever live. And I do that with everybody, right? I don't say that, hey, don't be entertained. But for God's sakes, let's just revisit a conversation. And let me just say this. LeBron needs to shut up and dribble. We not interested in entertainers giving us their Twitter thoughts. I don't even think that this guy can tell you his left from his right when it comes to justifying his political position. And I'm so tired of us looking for celebrities to tell us what to do. It is ignorant, it is disingenuous, and 100% disrespectful that they decided that they wanted to have black male celebrities tell us how we're supposed to vote. I don't give a fuck about what LeBron James think, D.L. Hughley, Ben Crump, Ricky Smiley, Steve Harvey, all of this. If you look at this, are you telling me that LeBron James is worried about how his kids and his family is going to do when it comes to who's in office? Let me give you a little bit of insight. LeBron James, prior to the Puerto Rico comedian that wasn't even Trump that said it, right? Because if they were worried about it, then we would be worried about how we treat each other as a community because Black Lives Matters, just not to black people. Let me say that again. Black Lives Matters, just not to black people. If they were worried about how you see things, what's happening, they would be more than worried about a comedian's joke about Puerto Rico at Madison Square Garden, which Trump said, listen, I don't even know what comedians is going on. I'm not involved in who gets booked where or whatever. My job is to reach the people. And as a matter of fact, I'm the one that sold out Madison Square Garden, not a comedian. And comedians we've always known, because if we want to hold them to that same standard, then that would mean that we would have the same smoke for Dave Chappelle, who, if I'm not mistaken, is definitely a LeBron James friend. And so it's convenient for them to do that when they want to justify going with something, and he's doing the same thing that the rest of these people are doing. Any Kamala Harris supporter is always saying, I'm voting against Trump, not for Kamala Harris. Unless your kids turn out to be sassy, I wouldn't really be worried about it at all. And even if your kids turn out to be sassy, that has nothing to do with the price of tea in China. Now, the regular everyday American, not billionaires, are also worried about their children, but they're worried about their children being able to survive in America because we have illegal migrants coming over into this country still right now being flew over here. They're worried about whether or not they'll be able to afford rent to raise their children in. See, the LeBron Jameses of the world, his children is not going to deal with the same thing that your children is going to inherit. It's not. He don't really care because his children go to the best schools, they'll never ever need or want for anything. I mean, I actually support his decision to use nepotism in order to get Bronny James into the league and playing for the Lakers. I'm cool with it. He said that that was his objective from the beginning. I have no problem with it, but that's called privilege. You know what I'm saying? That is called your children ain't nowhere near going to worry about the thing that my children worry about. And so, what am I talking about? Your family is in secluded areas all over the country with multi-million-dollar mansions and a lifetime Nike deal, which is also an organization that went against Kyrie Irving when Kyrie never even said nothing. He just retweeted a movie that was out on Amazon for people to watch. Remember when they snatched that deal from Kyrie Irving? But more importantly, here's my question to the black community. Why are we so influenced by what LeBron says? And if you are the type of person that will change your opinion based off of the fact that LeBron said Kamala is the best for his children, get the hell out of here. Listen, I wouldn't even be surprised if I found out that a check was sent to LeBron in order for him to put this on Twitter. But it doesn't even matter because at the end of the day, people are 100% going to vote based off of their best interest. Now, I will admit, there are some puppets out here, but chances are they really probably the ones that's standing in line for a PS5 than they are the likely to show up to the polls to vote. So we're not worried about that. We're the only people that they have to be chastised by celebrities to vote the way that they want us to vote. You know what I'm saying? So we don't really care, but it's unfortunate because every single time that I'm in a position to where, and you guys may disagree with me, agree with him as far as something that he's doing off the court, like, lobbying the NBA in order to get his sons inside of the league and nepotism in that front. And I'm like, yeah, use whatever it is that you got to do to get what you want for your family. Every time that I go, okay, I'm gonna give him 1 point, he take 10 steps back. And in my opinion, this is one of the situations where he take 10 steps back. And one of the reasons is that who asked LeBron James what he think about the president of the United States of America? Who asked him? Nobody was begging for LeBron James endorsement. And as though we didn't already know that these handpicked celebrities was continuing to support the wrong candidates and being on the wrong side of history. They are the reason why we are in this situation from the last 3.5 years in the first place, is because y'all had a great time, ran up a bag, did really well from the other 4 years when Trump was in office. And somehow, because celebrities showed up and said, get out and vote, Diddy said, turn out to vote, all of a sudden y'all got amnesia and you start going with the wrong candidate. How y'all keep on letting these celebrities that ain't gonna never, ever, ever even recognize you and acknowledge you? If they seen you walking in the street, they wouldn't piss. If they wouldn't piss on you if you was on fire. But for some reason, we herald them and say that, yep, yep. But it may be another thing at play here. I heard that Brian said it ain't no party like a Diddy party. I don't know. I'm not saying that he was, hanging out at the Diddy party doing the Diddy things. What I am saying is, it's interesting that every election, our celebrities, meaning the ones that are in the culture, are the ones that are always handpicked enough to, en masse, be the ones that's jiggling and shaking and dunking. And again, I think that LeBron should just shut up and dribble. I'm cool with that. Just shut up and dribble. And this is why I'm never interested in being friends with any celebrity. Not saying LeBron was checking for me, nor do I even care. But all I'm saying is stay true to who you are and let these heathens go out here and say some of the wildest things. And you stand on your principles as a man, as a Christian, and as a person that understands what's best for your family. And I don't really care about what he got going on. That's my take. I'm curious as to what y'all think. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon link is in the description. Also, Teach Henley, 40% off your first order plus 20% off for life. And then last but not least, make sure you guys get your tickets to come and kick it with me in person. It's going to be an awesome time. I love you. I appreciate you. Let me know what y'all think inside of the comments. Peace.